I think we're good to get started then. Okay, great, awesome. Well, welcome back, everyone. For those of you who are returning back, I know that there's a lot of familiar faces here, which is great. We're going to be diving into to digital literacy 101, how to create engaging content. But this is we're going to go over some great steps on how to schedule your Facebook posts, how to utilize certain platforms like Canva, and how to check your Instagram analytics and your Facebook analytics. So, without further ado. I'm gonna give you the share time to see if that works. One presentation. You do?
Do you want me to share the presentation?
Yep. Go ahead, share, and then we'll switch out. We'll switch in the next. Yeah. Go for it. Perfect. Yep. Phenomenal. And before we dive into this, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are new, my name is Matt Anthony. I am an entertainment entrepreneur from the Niagara region. I oversee brand deals for various social media influencers, internet celebrities. I run social media for various organizations, local businesses, some tourism entities, and as well as community organizations. And I also am a part-time magician. I work here at the with the Niagara Falls Small Business Enterprise Center doing consultation, and also I host events too as well. And that could be anywhere from celebrity dinner parties all the way up to large scale conventions as well.
Hi, everyone. Thanks again for joining our webinar today. My name is Umberto. I'm the other Digital Service Squad Coordinator here through the Small Business Enterprise Center. And we primarily focus on helping small and medium-sized businesses make the transition in the digital age and help them solidify and strengthen their online presence. We do this through web design, support through social media marketing, which is a lot of what we're going to be talking about today. And anything really within the digital space to help strengthen your business. So we really wanted to make a point today to let you guys know to feel free to reach out to us if you see anything within this presentation or have any questions that you might want to elaborate further on. Matt and I are really eager to set up one-on-one consultations with everyone and to try to help everyone in a more closed and intimate setting. So if you ever feel like you might want us to elaborate on certain points together, we would be happy to do so in another meeting. And we're going to leave our emails and our contact information in the chat area as well, if that interests anyone to set up a further consultation with us. So we really encourage everyone to reach out to us. We're a free resource provided through the Small Business Enterprise Center in the city. And we'd love to learn more about everyone's businesses and their goals themselves. So thanks again for joining, and let's get right into it, Matt.
So I just posted our emails and everything in there. So what we're going to be going over, like I said, is how to utilize Canva. This is going to be great content for anyone who's looking to publicize any content on Instagram and Facebook specifically. We're also going to dive into the tips on how to actually schedule Facebook and Instagram posts. For those of you who were at the last webinar, we mentioned that Facebook does own Instagram. And with that being said, they are connected. So there is actually a platform that you can utilize for free. It's called the Facebook Scheduling app. Well, I don't know if it's called the Facebook Scheduling app, but it's called the Facebook Scheduler, and where you can actually schedule your posts. We're going to dive into how to run a social media contest. We're going to have a video that further explains TikTok, because I know that was a hot topic of conversation last time. And we're going to create effective calls to actions. Calls to actions meaning, what is the action that you want your audience or your consumer of your content to do? Do you want them to buy a product of yours? Do you want them to buy a service? Do you want them to visit your website? Do you want them to comment or tag someone in the comment section below? So all those things we're going to go over, and Umbi's going to take things to the next level here and dive into Canva, and we're going to go from there.
Awesome. Thanks for the intro, Matt. So that's the general agenda of what we're going to be looking at today. And let's have a look at Canva. So this is one that we're really really excited to be able to explain today because we think it's one of the most valuable and cost-effective resources out there for small business. You can see in the past, and as you all probably know, getting graphics made, getting posters and content and business cards and everything in between can really add up. And all of those paying graphic designers and different agencies to do this work for you, gets expensive and timely and it isn't the very most cost-effective thing for your business. So Canva is a free and paid platform. There is both a free option, which is pretty broad, and you can get a lot done with it. But we do really advocate for the paid option, which is $17.99 a month Canadian, and we can drop a link later so you guys can check that out further. And what Canva is it gives you the tools and the power to be able to design your own promotional graphics and promotional material in a very user-friendly way. It's kind of a drag and drop interface where you can figure out things quite quickly for yourself and create beautiful, useful designs for your business in a short amount of time. So what we're going to do today is briefly actually hop into Canva. Matt and I have a paid version of Canva that we're going to look at a little bit further with you and just show you about the general layout, the interface, and where you can find some certain tools in there that will really help you out. All right. So here is the Canva main interface screen, right? So you'll see at the top, we have the logo here, knowing we're in Canva. We have home. Down here, we'll have our past designs that Matt and I have made, or for your account, you'll see your previous designs there. And this is pretty much the home screen, as we call it. So when we're looking to design a new piece, whether it be a flyer, whether it be an Instagram promotional graphic, design.
Oh, up there.
And we're going to hit create a design here. So once we press on this little button here, create a design, we're going to see a few options pop up that asks us, what kind of content, what kind of design are we looking to create today? And for the sake of what we're talking about today, let's look at making an Instagram post. So you'll see when I mouse over down here to Instagram post, it'll give us the dimensions of what we need, which is for Instagram 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels. And we're just going to click on that. And once we do that, it's going to open us up a new window that is going to bring us into the creative kind of sphere and the creative process that we're going to talk about more. The main thing that you want to pay attention to on the left side here is the sidebar with the tasks in them. So you'll see templates at the top left, which we're going to be using and talking about in a second. You'll see uploads here just under is where you upload your own photos, whether it be your logo, different items to that section. And then you'll also see photos, which is a stock photo section where you can search for photos to use in your presentation or your graphic. So if I wanted to, make a graphic about an orange, for example, for whatever reason, you'll see that it has pre-built stock photos that are free and licensed to use for yourself. So let's dive into this a little bit quicker and let's see what we can really do in the power of Canva here. So if we were to create a graphic that we wanted to promote this webinar specifically, for example, I'm going to search that up in the templates, and I'm going to find some different pre-made templates which make it super simple and very quick to create a new template that we're going to design and tailor to our own needs. So let's click on this first one here. You'll see that we have a title, we have a little bit of a laptop showing a picture, and some different editable features here. So the first thing that we want to recognize is anything you want to edit or touch on, you're going to be able to click. So once I click on this title, for example, and I remove the text here, I'm able to put our own version of our text. So let's say we wanted to put Digital Literacy 101. So Canva is going to let us make that edit ourselves, and all we need to do is click on it and drag it into the place we want. Same for the photos here. So we have a mock, what they call a laptop mock-up here, and there's a photo inside. So if I wanted to maybe look for a webinar photo, for example, we're going to go back into photos, search up for webinar, and I'm going to click one of these, hold it down, and drag it into the photo or into the graphic here. So you can even just press on it and it'll come up on the screen and we can put it wherever we like. But for the sake of using what we have as a template, we dragged it and dropped it right into the laptop. And you see how it'll mock it up right there right away for us. This is a bit of a quick crash course, and there's plenty online resources to take advantage of to learn Canva further. But the last thing that you'll want to make note of too is the colors, right? We can change and customize the colors whenever we want. So if I press on this section here, which is kind of a green, an earthy green, and I click on the color option here, I'm going to pull up a color wheel, which lets me change it to whatever color I like. And it'll change in real time, as you see on the screen. So let's make it a red, for example, a real bright red. And then I can also click on this yellow part here, hit background color, and change this to a blue, for example. So the customization and the options here are limitless, and you can really make it whatever you need and make it your own for your business. That is, again, just more of a quick crash course, but it kind of gives you an idea that the power Canva holds and some of the tools that are built in at that $17 price point that really make it a great resource for any small to medium-sized business. And it can actually reduce a lot of that cost that you might have been outsourcing previously to an agency or a graphic designer. Now, Matt is going to talk a little bit further now about the scheduling feature we had just previously.
Awesome. Thanks, Ambi. I'm just going to go to sharing my screen now. Bear with us, folks, or some technical. This will stop others. Yep. Okay, great. Okay, perfect. Ooh, we're skipping ahead to some of the good stuff. Okay, so how to schedule Facebook and Instagram posts. So this, like I was saying, is very, very valuable information here. So within the schedule function in Facebook is definitely by far one of the most, if not the most underutilized tool within the Facebook world. And I think it's just a matter of the fact that people maybe not know that it exists. It recently got updated within Facebook settings. I want to say 6 months ago, roughly, something like that, where this is the first time ever. Before, you probably have heard buzzwords or different apps like Hootsuite or Buffer. Those were third-party platforms that allowed you to schedule Facebook posts and Instagram posts through through those apps connected to your social media platforms. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into an actual in-depth exercise, and we're going to follow step by step how you guys can follow along with this. And also by utilizing this function, you'll be able to save time, because I know everyone that's probably here is a business owner, and you'll be able to post on when the best peak time is for your audience. Okay, so now we're gonna go to our interwebs, and we are going to, perfect. Okay, so this is a client, for example, right here. If you go ahead and click, so this is the Facebook page that pops up automatically right now. So if you're on your Facebook page, your business page, you go to create post here. You can go ahead and create a post here within the actual template here. What you're going to do is, once you create the post, I'm just going to do this just for the sake of demonstration purpose, you're going to click publishing tools. Once you go ahead and hit publishing tools, you're going to get taken to this window right here. So what this is like, this is like your scheduler window before you go ahead and post anything on Facebook and Instagram. If you notice right here towards, which would be my left of the screen, what I'm looking at is, you'll see the option of where it says season and property management and season to season. Notice the Facebook and the Instagram icon. If you hit both, that means that it's going to post to both platforms at the exact same time when the post is scheduled. So for example, what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down. We're going to hit to add photo. We're going to hit season to season. Whoop. We're going to choose to upload this photo. Great looking graphic. Write something along the lines of, we offer premium pool cleaning services. And you'll notice right here, it says call to action right here. If you click this on, this is going to show what the objective of the post is. And that means to get messages. So that means if you were to click this on, you're encouraging people to, there'll be a section that pops up on the post right here that says message here or message for further information. And what you would do is, I'm not going to post on the account right now because I already posted on it today. But over here in the bottom right, my bottom right here, you'll see publish here with the arrow, or you'll see this little down button right here. What you're going to do is you're going to click that and you'll see the post to be either saved as a draft or to schedule the post. What you're going to do is you're going to hit schedule the post, and then this magical window is going to appear. So here it says schedule post, and this means that you can pick the date and time that you want your post to be seen. I do believe right now, and this is something that's always changing. For those of you who don't have your mic muted, I'm just hearing some background noise. If you could just please mute your mic so kindly, that would be great. So I think sorry, going back to this, I think with Facebook's limitations, what you can do is you can schedule posts up to 30 days in advance. It may be longer, but this is something that Facebook and Instagram are consistently updating. So as of right now, I think it's 30 days. If not, it might be a little bit longer. But what you could do is if you click this calendar button here on the left, maybe it's not. Maybe it's not doing it because it's a complete post. But anyways, if you were to click this button right here, you'll be able to go in and change the times. I'm obviously I'm just doing this for the sake of demonstration purposes, but you'll be able to play around with that. This should be able to click up. I'm not too sure why it's not right now. It might just because there's too many things happening with the screen, but that's essentially it. And from there, you'll be able to schedule your post, and this post will go out today at 4:40 p.m. If I know that that's a great audience peak time, which we'll dive into how that works too very shortly. That's just a great time for you. Know that you're going to get probably the maximum amount of attention on your post at that time when it's posted. And then make sure you click both of these, because then this will automatically post to Facebook and Instagram for you, and it's free. Okay, great. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to pass things off to Umberto. He's going to dive into how to organize and run a social media contest.
Thanks, Matt. So you guys have probably seen these quite a bit. I know I have, especially over the pandemic break and a lot more recently in 2020 and 2021. Social media contests, right, or giveaways on Instagram especially. This is something that is very beneficial to a brand and to any sized company for many reasons, right? It's free a lot of the time. It's only costing you whatever you're giving away as your product or service, for example, if it's a giveaway, or maybe if it's a contest, you're giving away a gift card for your business. So to post this type of contest and this giveaway on Instagram, it doesn't actually cost you anything to launch the contest per se, but rather just what you're offering on behalf of your business. And why do so many brands run these days, right? It is an awesome tool to create organic, which is real people engaging on your post, and to get tertiary exposure to different people within your social network that you might not have had before, right? So what this looks like is, say we have an Instagram account with 100 followers, and we know that we have these 100 people in our social nucleus in our network, but they also have another 200 people in each of their network, right? What we would want to do with the contest or the giveaway is we're going to offer a prize or some type of service, and the service that we're offering can be won through a series of steps that we ask them to take. And these steps are typically always the same in most contests or giveaways, right? It's going to be like this post that we've posted, and comment and tag your friends or family, maybe 2 or 3 people that are also going to do the same and tag more people in relation, right? And we can kind of see this exponential growth going on here, that you're going to tag a friend who's going to tag a friend who's going to tag a friend. And now just by offering something for free from our business, you're getting your post and your business out to a whole other network of people that you actually wouldn't have had exposure to previously. Matt and I have ran these very frequently in the last year. We've probably done a handful, maybe 5 or 6 with different clients. And what we're going to do now is actually show you a version of what we have done and Matt has done with a client of his that we actually ran maybe a month or 2 ago in a contest.
Awesome. Thanks, Umberto. So for those of you who don't know, myself and as well as a bunch of other community advocates and mental health advocates came together to create the Niagara Falls Mental Health Fair, which is the Niagara Mental Health Fair. It's the city's largest oriented Niagara mental health awareness event. Also, for those of you who are not muted in the chat, if you can please kindly mute yourself too, just so there's no feedback, that would be greatly appreciated. So what we decided to do is like a collaborative post, and this goes really, really well. And I would recommend this for any businesses that are currently existing right now if you're looking to reach a new audience. So with the Niagara Mental Health Fair, we actually partnered up with one of my clients, which is Niagara Elite Wellness Spa here. And what they do is they provide various wellness practices to increase your mental and physical health. They offer chiropractic care, natural medicine, and even if you're looking for just recreational relaxation, manicures, pedicures, and a whole bunch of stuff, I would highly recommend checking them out. So this is just an example as what the graphic would look like. If you notice, the logos are very clean, and you know exactly what it is that you're getting, what you're getting into. Contest, win $100 Niagara Elite Wellness gift card. We're actually going to be picking the winner later on this week, so this is a great time. So if you still want to enter, you still have a chance to win a $100 gift card. So the caption, contest time, we're very excited to be partnering up with the Niagara Falls Mental Health Community to give away a $100 gift card to our wellness center. Contest details is follow Niagara Mental Health Fair and Niagara Elite Wellness Spa on Instagram. Automatically, your audience knows exactly what they got to do for a chance to win. They got to go like and they got to go follow both those accounts. They also have to share the post to their story, which means that when they share this post, all of the people who share this post, they're going to be notified based on how many story views that they have that this contest is going on, and that post is going to be up for 24 hours. With that, you're also going to get them to tag 2 friends in the comments section below. What that means is in order for them to enter, they have to notify 2 friends by tagging them in the comments below, thus increasing their chances of winning. This next part is a great tip for how to increase your overall brand awareness, which is multiple comments with multiple tags will count as multiple entries. So think about it. If I was a person that were to comment on this post and I tag 2 friends, but then I make another comment and tag 2 friends, and then I make another comment and tag 2 friends, say the post gets, say, 200 comments, and I am 50 of those comments while tagging 2 people, not only am I exposing them to 100 new people that I know that maybe they don't know, but my chances of winning is that I have 50 comments out of that 200. I have a 25% chance of actually winning this contest. This is a very underutilized tool that takes place when it comes to social media contests in general. And if you have a knack for that, or if you have a couple friends who are really interested in doing this, this can help grow your page exponentially. And then how you go to pick the winner is winner will be selected via a random number generator and announced on our social media platforms, which is totally fair. I highly recommend doing it. It keeps all the bias. It keeps everything out of the way. As something as so simple as going to Google, typing in random number generator, counting how many comments that there is on the post. Say the post, like I said, has 200 comments. You go hit random, and what you do just to ensure that you're being fully transparent, you can record it with your phone. Click the random number generator on the page right there with Google. Hit generate, and then Google will automatically pick a comment. You count down from whatever that comment is. Say it's the 77th comment. You would count down to this whatever the 77th comment is. Then you announce your winner, make a nice graphic in Canva, post it. Everyone's happy. It's great. So that's just one really, really good example of how to run a social media contest. Okay, moving on. So next we're going to go to, we're going to dive into how to check your analytics on Instagram. And then we're also going to go to how to check your analytics on Facebook. So these are very common questions that we get, which is what is your audience? What is your reach? And how do I check it? Would you like to dive into the Instagram analytics and I will take Facebook?
Sure thing, guys. So, all right, Instagram analytics. Just as Matt had briefly touched on, right? Why do we care, or why are we interested in seeing our analytics, right? The main thing is to one, better understand your audience, but also two, to understand when your audience is using Instagram. So if we know that maybe at 9 o'clock or 10 a.m. In the day, most of our followers are on Instagram, on the app, are looking through photos, we know that, okay, because Instagram's telling us that's a good time, that's when we're going to try to post most of our posts to maximize the exposure of who's going to be seeing this content, right? And the way that we get into this is typically from your Instagram main page, your profile page. If you're a business and your account is set up as a business, you're going to see something that is called Insights. It's going to be a button right beside your Edit Profile button, or just under your profile picture somewhere in that main tab. And once we click on Insights, it's going to bring up a page that looks similar to what we're looking at here in the presentation, right? So you're going to have options to see your audience, for example, the different demographic build within your audience. So you're going to have things such as an age demographic, female versus male and other genders. You're going to see different days and times that people are using the app. And that's the one thing that we're actually specifically interested in for analytics, right? We like to see, okay, our most active times or our most active days are Tuesdays maybe, or Thursdays at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. So now making an analytically informed decision, as we call it, we're going to make and strategize our marketing efforts and our posting efforts around when the analytics are telling us is the best time to do so. And this is a really good kind of sense of security for a lot of business owners too, right? You don't feel like you're randomizing it or just putting content out there to put it out. You kind of have a little bit more method to your madness in this way. And we really harp and preach to look at your analytics, understand what they're telling you, and try to really tailor your posts and tailor your strategy accordingly, right? And there's a lot of similarities, what Matt's going to get into next from Instagram and Facebook analytics, but the look is a little bit different. So I'm going to pass the ball back over to Matt, and he's going to get into that a little bit further.
So yeah, how to check your Facebook and Instagram analytics. And this is where we're going to reference back to the scheduler. The scheduler literally will save you so much time when it comes to scheduling everything at your most opportune moments. Okay, so like we said, so with Facebook, app operates almost verbatim like Instagram, but if you go to your Facebook settings, there is a section there that says Insights. From there, your insights, you can see, for example, the overview. This is the overview section is like the general overview as to what's happening with your account, with showing you the most important stuff, which is, i.e., your page likes, how many likes has your page gone up to, like meaning how many new people have actually taken the time to go out of their day to go ahead and watch the content that you're posting. Your post reach is the amount of total accounts that your posts have reached on Facebook, not Instagram, on Facebook over the course of the last week or so. And keep in mind, this is just an example for demonstration purposes. And then here goes your engagement. Your engagement is by far the most important aspect when it comes to doing anything with social media. You can have 5,000 followers, but if you're getting 3 likes on a post, something's probably wrong with your engagement. But if you have 5,000 followers and you're getting 500 or 1,000 likes a post, which is good, like that's 20%, like that's very, very good. Typically, as long as you're converting a good amount of percent of your followers into actual engaged customers with that, you want to make sure that it is at the forefront of anything that you do, which is creating effective calls to actions. The giveaway contests are a great help because that will boost the amount of people who will potentially like your page, how many how many different accounts will it reach on Facebook, and ultimately increase your engagement. So like I said, this can be found in the insight section on your Facebook page, as well as the insight section on your Instagram account. I would highly recommend getting super well versed with those. And then what you're going to do is, based on the insights and based on when people are most active, both on Facebook and Instagram, that is when you're going to go into the scheduler section, like we previously had mentioned, and you will schedule the posts for those opportune times for when the audience is most visible and most active online. Now, the thing is with social media is that tendency of when the audience is most active does tend to fluctuate, and that fluctuates based on a number of external factors that happen outside the social media world. That could be family time, like what's happening in the world on a political standard, what holidays are currently taking place, if there is a massive trend or if there is a massive news story that happens, if people are working. COVID has completely changed the way how people consume social media now. I would actually love to find out a stat. I don't know if anyone knows this. If they do, post in the chat, like if people have been more active now on social media as opposed to not, you know what I mean? I feel like that would be a really interesting stat too. I would assume anyways. So with that being said, yes. So the main thing is here with the insights, just a quick recap, is you want to take a look at your engagement, focus on creating as much engagement with your posts as possible, and then scheduling the posts accordingly based on the times. Okay, so this was a real big hot topic of conversation, which was TikTok. We found a great video by serial entrepreneur Gary Vaynerchuk. If you guys don't know who Gary V is, he is by far one of the world's most leading and insightful social media experts that exist right now. His insight as to what's happening in the current digital market is absolutely unparalleled to anyone. So we're going to go into a video that he's provided about how to actually utilize TikTok. This isn't necessarily going really related to the Instagram in our current topic, but I know it was so popular last class and last webinar that we were talking about. I feel like this would be nothing but great benefit. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and play that now. And if you can hear it, please let me know, and we will go from there. Can you hear it?
No.
You can't hear the video?
No. I think when you share it, you have to allow share your computer
share
volume.
Sound? Oh, okay. Can you hear it now?
No.
Is it no? Okay, you know what? If we can't do that, sorry. I'll just drop the link in the chat. That's no problem. We can do that for next time. Great video though. I would highly recommend everyone going ahead and checking that out. It's going to be great. So I will go ahead and post that in the chat. So chat to everyone. Yes, Vicky, you can check stats on TikTok as well. Just like Instagram and Facebook. Yes, you can do that. That's a great question. That's a great question about what is like a typical percent. Like typically, if you want to be anywhere, like on average, anywhere between, that's the thing, people are going to tell you different answers all the time, but I was going to say 5 to 10% is like generally, if you could be closer to 15, like that would be ideal. I've done some work with a few record labels, and they check to see closer towards like 15%. If you're an artist on social media, they want to see if you have closer to 15% of social media engagement, because then they know that they're going to be investing in an artist that is actually has a highly engaged fans. So yes, I would highly recommend everyone checking out that TikTok video. It's great, and I think it will provide a lot of insight, and it will get you to open up your perspective on the different things that you can do within the TikTok world. Okay, so call to actions. We talked about this too as well, which is what are effective call to actions and why are they so important? So what do you want your audience to walk away with after consuming your content, essentially? Do you want them to buy something? Do you want them to click your website to learn more? Do you want them to call you? What is the main objective that you want them to do per se? And this gets to be really important. And I find that if you stay very consistently, and this is when we talk about advertising, and actually we're going to be talking about advertising, in the next webinar, which is taking place next Wednesday, same time, 1 p.m. If you would like to attend, please feel free to send me a private message. My email is posted in the chat, or Umberto a private message or a private email, and we will send you the link for that webinar too as well. But what I've noticed with your call to action, it's good to keep it streamlined for a few posts in a row. So if you're looking, or what you could do is you could shake it up to see what sticks, but typically you want to keep your call to action consistent for the first little bit of posts that you do. So I'd recommend even doing like 3 or 4 of the same call to actions in a row. So say for example, Steve Wilson, I think is if he's on this call, is what we're going to do, and what I would recommend to someone with Steve is that we're going to consistently push. If we know that our goal is we want to get more hits on his website, more viewers on his website, our call to action with every sort of social media push that we do with his type of posting is we're going to want to push his website. We're going to want to push his website to the various different art pieces that he produces, to the various services that he does, and some information about his gallery. So if we know that our main objective is to push the website, then we're going to go into, okay, well, how can we push the website? What is the business, and how can we get creative with it to make those call to actions enticing? What's actually going to get people to comment on the post or to actually click that link to go to the website? And that's where it's up to you and the power of your imagination to think of any sort of creative ideas that are going to make people go ahead and click the link to your website. Also, I know we got cut very, very short for a Q&A time last time. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave a few minutes at the end for an open discussion about any sort of ideas, questions, comments that you would like us to talk about further, and then we'll elaborate from there. So moving onwards. So again, like we said, these are just some of the examples. Is do you want your audience to buy now? Do you want them to develop a more personal relationship with you? You will see this one a lot. Which is send us a DM to learn more. Essentially, what you're doing is you're breaking down that barrier where you want your customer to actually engage with you by talking via the private messenger chat. So you'll see that a lot in social media posts, especially with restaurants. You'll notice if anyone checks out Taps Brew House, located on Queen Street, they actually accept orders via DM. So if you want to pick something up, and what a DM is, for those of you who don't know, a DM stands for direct message, which is there is an option on your Facebook or your Instagram account to hit message, and that's what they refer to as a DM, direct message. But you notice a lot of restaurants, a lot of service or product-based retail shops will say, hey, send us a DM to go ahead and complete your order. Going back to with what Steve had mentioned about visiting the website, we could go ahead and talk about that too. Or if you're looking to get something that's a little bit more call intensive, and you know that there's going to be some back and forth, is there's going to be the call us option. You notice that with a lot of mortgage or lawyer or a lot of professional services is they will provide a call to action, which is typically results in a phone call or an online booking system. But for a demographic who is maybe 45 or maybe 50 plus, who's not super equipped or hasn't dabbled into the realm of utilizing online booking platforms, what a lot of these professional firm businesses will do is they will make posts making their call to action the ability to call them to discuss further what it is that they want to do. And typically those types of conversations last anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes or longer, depending on what the actual call to action is. Okay, so this exercise right here is one of my favorite things to do. If there is one massive takeaway that every single person on this webinar can take away from right now, is this is called an infinity list exercise. An infinity list exercise. Like, please, 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 if you guys do this, this is going to help transform your digital marketing assets and your skill set to a completely new and unparalleled level. So what an infinity list is you are reverse engineering your brain and your mindset, and you are putting yourself in your most idealistic consumer of your content. So say for example, we take I know I used Ashley last time example. We'll take Ashley Candace Elk artwork for an example here. If I want to put myself, what the infinity list exercise is, I want to put myself on who is the most idealistic person to buy something from Elk artwork, or to attend something from Elk artwork, or to engage with the social media post from Elk artwork. So what you want to do is you're going to create a list, and I'll explain why this makes sense in a second. You're going to create a list of 25 brands that coexist or that are similar with your most idealistic customer. Okay, so I'm Ashley. I know that I run I do visual art, I do abstract art. Who is buying from me, and what are the 25 brands that they mostly engage with? Maybe that's going to be someone who's more favorable towards maybe vegan food. Maybe that's going to be people who are interested in arts and culture. Maybe that's going to be someone who's fascinated with music. Maybe that's going to be someone who likes folk music. Maybe that's going to be someone who likes leather jackets. And then from there, you're going to dissect the different types of brands that they're really associated with. So that could be like Danier leather. You could utilize Michaels, IKEA, and the reason, and so on and so forth, until you reach 25. The reason for this is that you want to create those 25 brands, because and this is going to make sense, we're going to dive into this in detail into the next webinar, is you want to take those 25 brands and make a list of them in your notepad, in your phone, or somewhere where you can always refer back to them, because that is your most idealistic consumer and what their hobbies or brands or interests is that they currently have. What you're going to do is, when it comes to boosting or advertising a post, is you're going to take those 25 brands and you're going to put them in the boosting section or your ad when it comes to audience details of what they like and what their interests are. Again, it's taking those 25 brands and putting them into the interest section, because then you have a clear target market of who already buy, or who you think is the most idealistic consumer of your brand. You make the list of the 25 brands, and then you utilize that as information to target your most idealistic demographic, both on Facebook and Instagram. And if anyone is interested in doing an infinity list exercise with either Umberto or myself following the webinar, please feel free to send us an email, and we would gladly like to expand on this and go into it a lot further. Okay, so now we're wrapping up towards the end of this, and we're gonna leave the floor open for a brief Q&A. So just a recap of the contest section, call to action, how to create engaging content, and how to post and schedule content. For those of you who may not know, Umberto, myself, and a few other entrepreneurs from the area, we created an initiative called the North Pole Company with the sole intention to create community. Excuse me. I'm not sick. I just I have a green tea with me. To create community engagement and to give away presents and give away products or services to families who may not be able to afford Christmas presents this past year in 2022. And with that, the initiative is called the North Pole Company. And what we were able to do is we were able to get $5,000 worth of in-kind product or services donated to us. And then we were able to give them away all through social media contests. So just to give you an example, this is what it looked like. This is what the feed looked like. So as you can tell, North Pole Company, very simple name, following 54 people. These were all people who donated or contributed at all in any way. We amassed over 5,000 followers with this. This just goes to show the power of giveaways and strategic branding and social media. The sky really is the limit if you were to stay very, very consistent with it. Again, the logo is placed right here, obviously in the profile photo, and we're going to scroll all the way down just to show you how everything looks. And how we structured everything. So this was in the introductory section. Right here is a video. You notice the branding with this is very red, white, very Christmas oriented. It makes sense when you look at this. You should be able to tell right from the get-go this is something to do with Christmas themed, maybe some sort of community thing, charity, whatever. That's the main objectives that we wanted to get away with this. So what we did is we actually filmed we filmed a series of videos. We did 10 giveaways. We did 10 giveaways when we gave away anywhere between like 3 all the way up to like, I think it was like 8 or 9 prizes per video. But what we did is we spent one entire day filming the entire content. And then we spent another day editing all the content. And then we spent another day scheduling every single piece of content. And what happened is the scheduling option on Facebook and Instagram wasn't released at all this time, so we actually had to go ahead and do this manually. But eventually we were able to schedule it. So just for an example, how to keep your brand super clean is we created a posting schedule as to how everything was going to look. So first was informative video. The first was informative video announcing when the winners will be announced. Within 3 days after that, we go ahead and announce the winners and these are the businesses that supported and donated right here. And we tag the winner very explicitly in the graphic. From there, we went ahead and announced another contest. And then we just kind of snowballed and picked it up from there. So winner 2, video 3, giveaway winner 3. For those of you who know who Walk Off the Earth is, they were able to donate some great merchandise, which was fantastic. Same with Jamie Fine. She had the #1 song in the country too. So very appreciative of her donation as well. And so on and so forth. So when you see this, it looks very, going back to a term that we talked about in the first webinar, was uniform. Everything here looks very uniform in terms of the branding, the color language, and we did a lot of we had another graphic designer come on board with this, but we had our graphic designer utilize these in various Canva templates too as well. So that way it was like we utilize the same template and it looks consistent all across the board. And then what we're going to do next, the next time we're going to pick things off right again. Hopefully next Christmas season, we'll be able to gather up more donations and do some giveaways and go from there. And then here, if they want to title, you can see that this video got played 1,262 times with 12 comments. That was the finale video. Another giveaway. Winner giveaway, 109 comments there, 82 comments there, 191 comments. That's contest entries, 30. 160, so on and so forth. So with that being said, With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this week's webinar of how to create engaging content and to check your analytics. Key takeaways to remember is the infinity list exercise, reverse engineering, putting yourself in the mindset of your most idealistic consumer, creating a list of 25 brands. And then from there, we're going to utilize the infinity list exercise. We're going to do a real life case study example in our third webinar, which is taking place next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Another key takeaway is how to utilize Canva, the different templates with which Umberto so graciously explained, and then also how to check your insights to maximize your audience from when the best available times is for posting. So with that being said, we would like now to open up the floor to any questions, or maybe we can go through the chat. Do we got anything going on? Anything in the chat? Okay. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to jump in. No problem, Madeline. Yep, anytime. Like we said, folks, the next webinar will be taking place next Wednesday. It is free, obviously, and we'll be able to go from there.
We have a question from Anthony.
Yeah, what's the best way to grow an Instagram account? Just posting content? So yeah, Anthony, great question. What you want to do is you want to stay consistent with your posting. I would say minimum anywhere between 3 to 5 times a week. And you also, if you have the budget to put some advertising dollars behind it to target your most idealistic target market, utilizing the infinity list exercise, then I would recommend, spending the more money you spend, the greater the chances are of seeking bigger results. So I hope that helps answer your question, but you could do a lot with even $50.
I'm going to chime in on that note as well. Anthony, great question. So as Matt alluded to, posting, consistency, all very important. But something that's overlooked a lot of the time is engagement on your own side, right? You can't just be posting and putting up your own content, hope people see it, but it's really important to go in and like other people's posts that are within your industry or your niche, or if we're relevant to your business, to comment on other people's posts and other people's content, in hopes that, that's going to be reciprocated. And then also that people are seeing you comment on other relevant businesses that they know you're related to or affiliated with in some way. And then you're actually able to get your name clicked on in the comment section so they can come to your profile as well. So unfortunately, it isn't just a lot of the time enough to post on your own and set it and forget it. You need to be somewhat active in the community, liking other people's content, commenting and sharing on other people's content, and that will really help you grow quite quickly as well.
And just to go off that is, think of any social media platform. The more you engage with it, you yourself as the user, the more you will be rewarded. The more that you will be able to be exposed to more people, because if Instagram or Facebook sees that you're consistently liking and commenting and engaging with other people's content, part of how the algorithm works is you will be rewarded and your content will be seen on a more dominant level by other people, because if you're creating that engagement yourself, that engagement is going to be coming back to you as well. Ryan, are there any strategies that are effective to grow engagement besides contests? Yeah, Ryan, there's a ton of different ways that you can go ahead about growing your Instagram account. You can do boosts, you can do cross promos with other people within your niche. You can create a call to action in terms of redirecting people to like a website or for people to call you. But the main thing is with the social media game is the oldest cliche, but you want to post high quality content on a consistent basis. And it's going to take time. People just think, oh, if I hire a social media company or a consultant, I didn't grow, over 1,000 followers on my Instagram account, it was a waste of money. No, like that's the thing with the social media world. It takes a lot of time before you can figure out the right niche to capitalize on. And then once you identify your audience, you can grow from there. So I hope that answers your question.
Another great thing, Ryan, that you can look to stay on top of, or a strategy that you can try out, which is free as well, is setting your caption up in a way that spurs and incites engagement, right? So if you're posting a picture of the Niagara Falls, for example, and you want to get your engagement levels up on Instagram, want more people liking and commenting, what you can do is leave a caption instead of just saying the Niagara Falls, loved my time there. What you can do is say something that's more inquisitive or more provoking of a comment from someone, such as the Niagara Falls. What is your favorite restaurant in Niagara Falls? What is your favorite part of Niagara Falls? And now that we're actually opening that door up to other people who are looking at the post, they might be more inclined to comment on it and leave a little bit of a message underneath. So yeah, always building your caption with the idea to incentivize engagement and to incite conversation are two really good practices.
And Jimmy with the last question, Mr. Jim Valen. Yes, video definitely draws a lot more engagement than photo. Video content is the #1 way that people can consume content the fastest. Even if that's something as simple as taking your Android or your iPhone and actually talking to the camera and making a post about that, you're more likely to be in favor of receiving a generous algorithm engagement with that on Instagram and Facebook. But the content and how you present it has to be enticing and it has to be engaging for sure.
Another question from Jay Stevens at the top there.
Okay. Our team uses LinkedIn and Twitter. Is there anything unique about these platforms that we should know as we try to transfer your advice from Facebook and Instagram to these platforms? Yeah, like I said, that's a good question, Jay Stevens. LinkedIn, like I said, is utilized as definitely a lot more as like a professional networking tool. Twitter is a lot more news and personal brand oriented as well. I would be curious to talk with you actually. Let us know what your team does and let's have a private conversation about that. I think that would be really great. So send us an email. Send us an email. We'd love to talk about that. Maybe we can think of some new interesting ways. Okay.
One interesting kind of, I guess, unique function, if you will, speaking on the element of being unique, for Twitter specifically, is a function that they've built in recently that is called like chat groups yeah, Matt, I don't remember. I think it's something along the lines of chat groups. So if anyone is familiar with what was Clubhouse and is still Clubhouse, but this was very popular maybe 3 or 4 months to 5 months ago, this is an app where you can go on and join a chat room with very credible speakers or professionals that you can kind of just sit in like a Zoom call and listen to what they have to say. So you can kind of just join in. Maybe there's a group of 200 people, but there's what they call a stage, and only the verified people that are meant to be speaking are on the stage. And all you get to do is sit there and listen in a direct way of communication from these people, that you're able to actually hear what they have to say and almost hear like a little bit of a lecture for them. And Twitter has built this function recently into their own platform. So what you'll see is sometimes what they call fleets now on Twitter stories, they call them fleets. You'll see them at the top there. If it has a purple or purplish kind of reddish circle around it, it means that someone is live in their chat room and they're hosting a chat. And this is a unique function to Twitter right now that other platforms such as Facebook and Instagram haven't adapted yet. And what it does is it offers almost like a version of a live, where you can sit in a chat room and hear someone from a person-to-person standpoint and actually learn something from their chat. So it's a great way to really get your expertise across, to portray your knowledge, and really talk to some people directly in your business.
Okay, awesome. I know for the sake of time that we do have to wrap things up. So thank you guys so much for tuning into Digital Literacy 101 for this episode. Anthony, I saw your question. I'll shoot you a text and we can talk about that further. Next webinar is taking place next Wednesday, 1 p.m. So if you have any questions, feel free to email myself or Umberto, and we will go from there. Wishing you all a safe day, and we will talk to you soon.